Hello, my name is Victor Reyes, and today we will be doing the 4-point vision quest meditation that was developed by a teacher by the name of Alan Wallace. Dr. Wallace developed this meditation in conjunction with discussions on the idea of happiness in looking at genuine happiness versus temporary happiness. Genuine happiness being defined as one that is related to our well-being and our flourishing. There is a Greek word, eudaimonia, which means, as defined by Aristotle, as being at the work of the soul in accordance with the highest virtues. This genuine happiness is more cultivating what we can bring to the world as opposed to more temporary happiness where we are reaching out into the world anywhere but ourselves looking for happiness. And happiness in that temporary sense is very fleeting. It does not last long. It is not permanent. Because we are relying so much on people and items that are extremely temporary in nature, and relationships that are in constant change. Sometimes we think that if I'm dating so-and-so, if I'm able to have this person in my life, that I will, be happy. But once again, we are reaching for something or somebody outside of ourselves. So we're not cultivating our inner well-being, our sense of inner peace and inner contentment. And that leads to us not flourishing, which is what we want to do. We want to be able to be in a position where we can fully realize and tap into and develop our own unique talents and skills and capabilities and share them with the world. We discussed compassion last week. We discussed self-compassion. And what gets in the way of us being able to truly begin setting our compass, our inner compass, in a way where we lead a life that where happiness comes from the wellspring of our heart rather than based upon conditions that are usually beyond our control. And we do so by exercising self-compassion to ourselves, and also exercising this notion of loving kindness, that wishing ourselves happiness. And when we wish ourselves and we're aspiring for things, it doesn't mean that they're not true, because they definitely have that potential. And as we begin to visualize our life in a certain way, we can actually be in a position of creating those causes and conditions within our lives that actualize this visualization. So we're going to be talking about aspirations during this meditation. This meditation is one that I have done with different groups, people who've been incarcerated or are incarcerated. I've done this meditation with fourth graders and third graders, asking these questions and watching them with, being in a position where, adults, we seem to have developed so much negative chatter that we, talk ourselves and generate extremely negative self-talk and really block ourselves from reaching our fullest potential at times. And to those of us who have contact or have had contact with younger children, they haven't quite developed that block, and they can easily more access their heart. So this is an opportunity for us to reflect on some questions, and all our answers will be different. And if for some reason during the course of this meditation, because of conditions in our lives, maybe we've are currently suffering some PTSD or have experienced some trauma that does not allow us at this point in our life to be able to sit calmly, to fully concentrate. Just listen to the questions and maybe even, if you wish, write out some answers or contemplate them as we go through this meditation. We will be doing two meditations. The first will be more of a calm abiding meditation where we'll be learning to set our body, our speech, and our mind in its more natural states. And then I will lead to more of an analytical meditation, which will be the 4 points, the 4 questions that will arise. I'm also going to be asking during the course of the Vision Quest that we start visualizing, and maybe visualizing our the love that we have in our heart as a sphere with immeasurable amounts of rays of light. And if for some reasons some people have problems with visualizations, and if that becomes a hindrance to you fully being able to listen to this meditation as I go through it, once again, we can just, those things that we're not connecting with, we can just let go. The purpose of doing these practices is to get some kind of benefit out of them, not to get frustrated and angry at ourselves because we can't do something. It's actually defeating the purpose if we engaged in those kind of actions. So at this point, we can find ourselves a comfortable meditative position, and we can meditate. We can be standing up, we can be laying down, or we could be seated. And if we're seated, we want to make sure that our backs are straight because that helps us stay awake. I will also lift my sternum just slightly, and the sternum is the bone that is here in the middle of the chest, that covers your heart. And if I lift that slightly, I notice that my back even straightens out a little bit more. My arms, I can just relax them on my legs. My hands, I can place them on my legs or my knees, or I can hold one hand on top of the other, palm up, usually the left hand on the bottom, palm up with the right hand laying on top of it. With my head, I'm not going to throw it forward or too far back, kind of keeping it in line with the spine naturally, but maybe just a little bit of a dip in the chin. With my eyes, I do not have to close my eyes if I don't feel comfortable doing so. If I decide not to close my eyes, I'm going to ask that you just look out 3 feet in front of you and allow your gaze to soften if that feels good for you. So when we look at or pick a spot ahead of us, we're not going to just close our eyes and squint our eyes and focus on that spot. But see if we can't just relax our body, relax our eyes. And then with my tongue, I can put my tongue on the top of the roof of my mouth, the palate, and that actually has a practical application of stopping saliva and allowing me not to have to just keep on taking, swallowing, and which may interfere with my ability to concentrate. So now, although we may have silenced ourselves on the outside, some of us may still have chatter going on the inside. Our mind is spinning. So for right now, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you wish, is to go ahead and allow whatever thoughts, emotions, feelings come up, but don't grab them. Don't, what's called reification, don't reify them. Don't give them legs. A thought is a thought, and it arises and comes and goes until we make it real by focusing on it. Just like emotions, they don't define us. They arise, and we make the choice as to whether or not we want to run with them. And so for right now, what I'm going to ask you to please do is allow thoughts, emotions, even images, even noises if you hear them, allow them to come up. And don't grab them, but imagine they're like clouds in the sky, or maybe leaves in a stream where they're just float away. So as a thought comes up, an emotion comes up, place that emotion, place that thought just lightly on that cloud, and even just watch it float away. And now I can bring my attention to my breath, and we're going to take 3 slow, deep breaths. So I'm going to inhale through my nostrils, draw the breath slowly down to my belly, allowing the belly to expand, and slowly exhale. Inhaling, drawing the breath all the way down to the tummy, feeling the belly expand like a little balloon, and slowly exhale. And one last time, drawing the breath in, filling the belly up, and then slowly exhaling. And now release any control whatsoever of your breath. Allow the body to just breathe in its natural rhythm. With every exhalation, maybe releasing our shoulders a little bit more. And also with our exhalation, let's release any expectations of what's going to happen here today. Let's just accept things as they are, things as they arise. Don't expect anything to happen, and just kind of go with what does. And in order to relax our body a little bit more, we relax the muscles in our forehead. We bring our attention to the area around our eyes, and we relax the muscles around our eyes. And now around our mouth, relax and release the muscles around our mouth. And now let's go to the area of the jaw. We hold so much tension in our jaw. Let's relax and release the muscles in our jaw. If you can, imagine a small infant sleeping. And that's how our faces looks like. And once again, as thoughts, emotions, feelings arise, don't grab them, don't hold on to them, allow them to come up as much as you can. And for some of us, this is something new, and just let it float away. And now, to bring ourselves completely into the present moment, we're going to focus on our breath. So I'm going to ask you to please concentrate on the area of your tummy. And I'm going to notice how when I breathe in, my tummy rises, and I breathe out, my tummy falls. And we're just focusing on our breath. We're not going to start making up stories about our tummy or our bodies. We're just going to focus right now on, I feel my tummy rising when I breathe in, and it falls when I breathe out. And let's begin by setting our intention for this practice that we're doing today. I am a unique individual with gifts that are mine to share for the benefit of those around me. May this vision quest provide me the insights I need to move forward for a more fulfilling life. So we begin this with a very practical question, a very personal question for which everyone's response will be unique or is intended to be unique. And that is, what is your own vision for genuine happiness, of your own fulfillment? What would truly bring you happiness, a sense of satisfaction, a deep sense of meaning? What is your vision for your own flourishing? And just taking a moment, taking a second, and just think, what would genuinely make me happy? And if you're able to bring something in mind, hold this vision. And in arousing the aspiration of loving kindness for yourself, that you may be genuinely happy, imagine this loving kindness, this genuine happiness, as an orb of radiant light at the center of your chest, the level of your heart. And imagine that this happiness, this loving kindness, emanates from this orb at your heart, and it fills every cell of your body, saturating your mind, your entire being. With every in-breath, breathe in the light from that orb until every atom of your being is filled with white light, filled with that genuine happiness. And bear in mind that there's two aspects, two domains of reality. One of actuality, and that's which is real and already true, and the domain of possibilities. And possibilities are also real. So by the power of your imagination, venture boldly into the realm of possibilities and imagine here and now, with each in-breath, experiencing the happiness and fulfillment that is your innermost heart's desire. Imagine that you are genuinely happy here and now. And say to yourself, let it be so. But now we make the observation that there's really no possible way for any of us to realize our deepest aspiration without the help of those around us. It's not possible to do it completely independently, so this raises our second question in our vision quest. In order to realize your greatest well-being, what would you love to receive from the world around you, from those who are dear to you and those that you may not even know too well, in the short term and the long term, to help you on your path? What would you love to receive from the world? And then with every inhalation, arouse this aspiration that it may be so. The aspiration that whatever you truly need from moment to moment, day to day, to take you to the next step on this life's journey, that reality will rise up to meet you and you will receive all you need from the world. And imagine with each in-breath that you are receiving the kindness of your fellow beings, the compassion of all those around you. helping you to meet your temporary needs and helping you realize genuine happiness. Imagine white light flowing in from all sides, converging in upon your body, your mind, and saturating your entire being. This is the support of all those around you. And this brings us to our third observation, our third question. And that is that such happiness, such fulfillment cannot possibly be realized without some very meaningful inward transformation. We must grow and we must purify our minds. So this raises a third question. How would you love to transform as a human being? To mature, to grow? In order to realize your heart's desires, from what qualities, what habits that impede you would you love to be free? And with what qualities that nurture you would you love to be richly endowed, to have more of? What kind of person would you love to become? And now once again, imagining that sphere of immeasurable rays of light located at the center of your chest, the level of your heart, that with every in-breath, you bring in all those qualities, all those habits that will nourish you and help in your transformation. And with every out-breath, you release out of your body those habits, those thoughts, those patterns that hold you back and have been an obstacle to your growth as a human being. And taking in one last breath, imagine now that your entire being, every atom of your being, is totally saturated with those positive qualities, those positive traits that will nurture you and help you grow as a human being. And your entire body is devoid, is empty of any negative habit, character trait, quality, anything, any thought that has ever held you back. And say to yourself, let it be so. And now this brings us to our fourth and final observation, in that none of us exist in isolation and independently. Our lives, our well-being are intertwined, interdependent with all of those around us. So bearing this reality in mind, in order to imbue your own life with the greatest possible meaning, satisfaction, and fulfillment, we bring up the fourth question. What would you love to offer to the world around you? Again, to those who are close, and maybe those who aren't so close, over the short term and the long term. What are the greatest goods you can imagine offering to the world, drawing from your own unique background, your gifts, and your skills? And you do have them. Every one of us has brought into this life something that is unique to us that we can offer others. We just have to believe that. So, drawing on your deepest potential, what would you love to offer to the world around you? And now, once again, with all your talents, all your skills, all your qualities, imagine those as a sphere of radiant light at the level of your chest, the location of your heart, and that with every out-breath you release all those skills, all those talents to the world around you. And imagine here and now offering your best, and that these rays of light transform into the good that you would love to offer. And imagine them being received by all around you, and that you make this a better world for all beings to live in through sharing your gifts, your talents, your skills. And say to yourself, let it be so. And imagine this world is a better place because you are here. You are offering your heart to those around you. And just say to yourself, let it be so. And in conclusion, we dedicate any positive energy that we've created and generated by this practice so that we may impact ourselves and those around us in a very positive way. And now, if your eyes are closed, you can slowly open your eyes. So what's interesting about this meditation is, once again, because of our incredible ability to not have the faith in ourselves, we don't think that we have something to give. And it's just not true. Anybody who's told you that has basically lied to you. Every one of us has something to offer to this world. The question is being able to put ourselves in a position where we can be in a better place to access the wisdom that is innate within our hearts, and by accessing that wisdom, we do so by slowing down all that chatter in our minds. We can actually make our home and those beings that we can come into contact with, we can make everything around us better by offering what we have in our hearts. So, once again, thank you to Dr. Wallace for this meditation, and also thank you to Health Solutions for providing this platform, and most of all, thank you for listening and being attentive, and just thank you for being the human being you are. Until the next time, bye-bye.